is enough, and it's time for a change.
Are you ready?
It is Sunday, and you're listening to the Sunday Segue Wrestling Podcast.
Give me a hell yeah! Get some love! Woo, yeah!
With Kinny Killa.
Hey, yo! We're in the big D tonight, baby! And we are live! Woo!
I'm the gal them sugar should.
The best there is, the best there was, and the best there ever will be! Cause that's the bottom line! The Stone Cold said so!
The glass has just shattered, people, because you know what that means. It is Sunday. It's the Sunday Segue Wrestling Podcast, episode 153, and I am the man of the hour, too sweet to be sour, the one man with no Instagram, Kinny Killa. Now, we've had a very, very interesting week in the world of professional wrestling. More in the WWE, obviously, but man, it's been crazy, and I can't wait to talk about it with my partners in crime for today. First off, let me introduce you to, welcome back, John Cooper, one of the hosts of Kings of the Ring podcast. Welcome, my friend. Welcome back.
Kinny Killa, you found the keys to my bimmer yet?
It's still missing. It's still missing.
Still missing. One day we'll find them. How you going, mate? You alright?
Yeah, man, I'm good. How about yourself?
Yeah, not too bad, mate. Not too bad. Busy working and stuff, but yeah, all good. Catching up on the wrestling this week as well, which has been good. It's been good.
Yeah, because I was gonna ask how's Kings of the Ring going? Because I haven't heard anything from you guys for a while.
Do you know what? Like, I've got to sit down and talk with MB because like MB's work has got major busy and he hasn't really had time to do anything. And it's one of them now. I think it's maybe going to be a case of getting hold of you boys, like Belmont and stuff like that, and just doing guest appearances. And when MB can come in and jump in and do one. It's a good concept, man. It's just sitting there on the table at the moment, and you know what I mean. Just need to get it going again.
Yeah, man. Well, if you want to holler at your boy, just you know what to do, and I'll make sure I'll try and do a good job.
Exactly, mate. Exactly.
We're expecting the other half of the Spurs brothers, James Belmont with his Belmont banter, but he will be here soon. He's putting the burners on from work, so he should be here very, very soon. But nevertheless, as always, we have a show to do, so we will crack on with it. Right, so Sunday Segue Wrestling Podcast, make sure you check us out, the Sunday Segue podcast.wix.com/Sunday Segue. Also, make sure that you follow us on Twitter. That's at Sunday Segue. Segue spelled SEGUE. Like us on Facebook. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. That's Sunday Segue. This www.youtube.com/C/Sunday Segue. Make sure you listen to us on iTunes, Podomatic, Stitcher. Don't forget to download that Double Twist player. Right. As always, we are on VOC Nation and Swerve Talk, so we're going to do some shout-outs right now. You want to do any shout-outs, Coop?
I'll give a shout-out to the usuals. I'll give a shout-out to the Offshoot Radio lot. I'll also give a shout-out to your boy Fame Black, because he cracks me up when I'm listening to him. And I'm going to give a shout-out to Pochettino as well, man. He's made me dream again when I probably shouldn't be in a Spurs fan, but thank you, Pochettino. You'll make me have a good time.
He's made you dream again. I love that. Oh, God. Yeah. I love the shout-out to Fame Black, guys. You should know by now. Segue TV, Episode 5. We'll be following this. That's right, me, Fame Black, and Tom Brady bringing you the best in New Japan Pro Wrestling, so make sure you check that out. Right, I want to give a shout out to some of our new seg heads, as we like to do. So shout out to Mike J Prince, that's at Sniper MD1, PWE Show, the 79 Outlaw, also Wrestling Themes for You, that's at Entrance Music, Myers, that's at Myers the Madness. It's the twisted conscience of Max Wrestling UK. Also, I want to give a shout out to Adam Kane, Brittany Moxley, and that's at Living Dead Girl 0, Solitude of Slam, you know who you is, Christopher Orange, 0, that's at Dark 0023, Dustin Kaufman, host of the Yes Talk, who will be on our show next week as a guest host. Also Randy Kundell Jr., Randy Helms, and CJ White. So again, sorry if I missed out some of you, but I will get you on there next week. Also want to give a shout out to One Wrestling and obviously You What Gaming YouTube show. So make sure you check out Jason Clarkson and Squeak. So let's get on with it. Fast Lane, we're going to run through the card quickly and then we're going to talk about the Raw Fallout, because what a Raw it was. Right. So let's just have a look at the Fast Lane. So we had the United States title match between Kalisto and Alberto Del Rio, which was a 2 out of 3 falls match. Cooper, this was obviously used to cement Kalisto as, you know, the US champion, no doubt. Yeah. Did you watch the match?
I caught some of it, I'll be honest with you. I was expecting it on the main card and didn't realise that I literally ran through all my wrestling yesterday during the day. And it wasn't until I got to the end of the pay-per-view I realised that was the pre-show, but I had to get Raw in as well for this. So I've seen, obviously, the highlights they showed on the show. I mean, the thing for me, I think Kalisto could be the next Rey Mysterio for WWE. I think that's the intention for him, definitely. But obviously, with Sin Cara around as well, they kind of want to keep the Lucha Dragons going. So, I don't know, it's a strange one, but yeah. I mean, from what I've heard, the performances were really good, and I was very unlucky not to be put on the actual pay-per-view at the end of it.
Definitely. I mean, do you reckon Lucha Dragons could do both? Do you reckon they could do Lucha and Kalisto being United States champion? Or do you see a split coming?
In theory, they could do them both. I don't see why you can't do them both. I just wonder whether Vince sees them more as a tag team for the kids and wants something like that in a tag division, or whether he thinks, we'll give Kalisto his singles run, and Sin Cara, what will happen with him, will happen with him. So, I mean, Sin Cara, I know there was another one that came in originally, and this is Hunico, isn't it? That's actually now Sin Cara. So, you know, I don't know. I don't know how long a shelf life Sin Cara's got, but I think Kalisto has the opportunity to be the new Lucha underdog who fans can rally behind. And let's be honest, Alberto Del Rio gets a lot of grief, but he's a good worker, and he's done really well in making Kalisto look more credible in the spot that he's in. Yeah.
He's definitely a solid hand on Del Rio in the ring. So to start off the pay-per-view, the actual pay-per-view, we had Becky Lynch and Sasha Banks defeating Team Bad, so Naomi and Tamina by submission. I thought it was a good, 10-minute match to open the show. The girls got very good cheers. They were, they got themselves over. I thought that obviously this match was a filler for what's to come for WrestleMania. But how do you feel that these girls performed to open up the show?
I think, very paint by numbers tag team match. You could have had the match on Raw, to be honest with you. Like, don't get me wrong, I thought there was a lot of effort in. I think Naomi is a lot better than I ever realised she was, to be honest with you. Tamina, I still think is dog shit, and I don't know how she's still got a contract. But, that's personal opinion. But I thought they'd done all right. I think the main thing really is to, at the moment, have Sasha and Becky on the same page. They're to eventually go into a triple threat match at WrestleMania. It would be nice to have a singles WrestleMania women's match at the moment, but I don't think they're quite there with the characters being strong enough to do it. So I think this was a good paint by numbers to showcase Becky and Sasha, who are likely going to be representing the women's division at WrestleMania.
Then we had Kevin Owens defeating Dolph Ziggler in a really, really good back and forth IC match. Finishing off the feud between them two. Nice 15-minute match. They both got all their spots in. The right man definitely won. Then after that we had Big Show, Kane and Ryback. Oh god, defeating the Wyatt family. Eric Rowan, Luke Harper, and Braun Strowman, which I was very, very surprised of, because I thought this was going to be Braun Strowman's time.
Well, that's the nail in the coffin for the Wyatt family, really, isn't it? To be honest with you, we've all spoke before about how Bray never wins big feuds. I know Bray wasn't involved in the match, but if you're going to have his cronies, so to speak, lose to two 18-year veterans and Ryback, who's not really that over or relevant, then it kind of shows that Vince is like, you know what, I'll give up with these lot. It's not their time at the moment, and he's blown it basically, because for the fact that they're trying to keep Braun Strowman strong worries me, because it just makes me think there's going to be a point where he's going to be turned babyface and he's going to feud with Bray, and then they're going to push him to the title picture or whatever. But I think the Wyatt family as a concept, they haven't done right by them. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, I definitely agree. So after that match, we had Charlotte defeating Brie Bella by submission. Again, I thought it was a good, it was a solid match for a Brie Bella match. The finish was a bit weird for me. I didn't really like the finish, too tough. But Charlotte took it down. The right person definitely won.
Yeah, I mean it was another paint by numbers one, wasn't it? Really, it was just enough to just showcase Charlotte as the top heel in the division, give Brie Bella a moment because her husband's just retired and her sister's having surgery and stuff like that. So he just gave her a chance to, showcase a lot. But what she did showcase was the only way she can get cheers is by nicking her husband's moves. And I just think, don't I don't mind Brie Bella. A couple of years ago, the whole Stephanie McMahon feud was quality, but I just think she's never going to be anything relevant because her sister's a lot better. She's Daniel Bryan's husband, so even though he's retired now, he's a monster face in that company in recent years, and she's just there. She's just thereabouts, and I think it's the right move to have her against Charlotte in the pay-per-view before Mania because she's not going to be fighting at Mania, Brie Bella. And it gave Charlotte a win and it gave a chance to showcase her as well.
Next we had AJ Styles against Chris Jericho. Again, this was a solid match to finish off the feud, I thought. The only thing that I find weird between these two is that I don't think their chemistry is as strong as people think it is. I think that they definitely struggle to call certain spots, and AJ keeps missing that springboard backflip into the inverted DDT, which I really want him to pull off, but it's just not connecting, which it will with certain people. But I definitely thought the right person won, and I felt that they have handled AJ Styles really well so far.
They've done really well with AJ Styles, especially when, for many years, I think wrestling fans always worried if he went to WWE he'd be misused straight away, which he hasn't been. I think with Jericho now he's just at an age where he's still good in the ring, he can still tell a story, but he is just a mid-carder, if you know what I mean. So, and I just think it's a case of it's just a safe match they've been having. Nothing's really been out of the ordinary. Nothing's made you go back to any of them and pick out a moment from any of their matches and go, oh, this was a cool moment in that match. It's just been 3 really safe matches they've had, which is good because it establishes AJ Styles. But yeah, I think they've done right by AJ Styles. I'm just intrigued to see what they're going to do with him now.
Then we had Social Outcast defeating R-Truth, yada yada yada. Then we had the main event, which was Roman Reigns defeating Dean Ambrose and Brock Lesnar. I mean, the dynamic in this match was really good. Three-way sometimes could be hit or miss, but I felt that Roman Reigns and Dean Ambrose did very well to neutralize Brock Lesnar by, putting him through not 1 table but 2 tables, which showed that, Lesnar's a beast and you need to make sure you get your shit in to get him out of there. The finish, though, I didn't really like the finish.
It's a bit sketchy. I mean, I've got to be honest, I'm not high on Dean Ambrose, but I thought in that match he done really well. I just think he needs to stop taking whatever he's taking before he comes out there and gurning on his way to the ring. In which now everyone will notice that he gurns on his way to the ring. But I just think, and this is the problem with the Roman Reigns story and the character, it's just, he's been in a Kimura lock for, a good minute or so. Mm-hmm. Then he gets hit with a chair a couple of times and he pops up, hits a spear and gets a pin. It's just sort of, it's the same way people in the early stages used to get annoyed with Cena, that Cena would take a beating and then from nowhere hit his finish and get the win. I think Roman Reigns has got a chance, but I don't think now's the time to do it. I think Vince has booked him into a corner where he can't get out of it.
Yeah, it's hard. You can't get nothing out of that now. But we'll talk a bit more about Roman Reigns in a bit, because right about now we're going to go into the Raw fallout. So now Raw, again, was amazing. We started out anyway with this really, really good bit about the Vincent J. McMahon Award. Nobody knew what was going to happen or who it was going to go to. People suspected it was going to go to another McMahon or Triple H, but going to Stephanie McMahon. Steph came out, looking great and speaking great and making it look like, oh yeah, I didn't know nothing about it, but I prepared something anyway. She goes to talk, and I swear down, I think I nearly fainted. I swear down, when Here Comes the Money started playing, I was like, yo, is this a joke? Is this a joke? Seriously. And I marked out like a little schoolboy bitch.
I definitely popped when I watched it in the morning, because I got up for work and I usually watch Raw a bit in the mornings, and I wasn't expecting Shane McMahon to come back. But then credit to Vince McMahon really, because he's obviously been shat on a bit with the injuries he's had to deal with, and he was like, I need to come up with something big, and he calls his boy Shane. And if I'm honest, if any wrestling fan in the back of their mind thought, oh, he's going to call Shane to get him out of the hole, I don't think anyone would have believed it. Really, really good moment. The question I have, is he actually going to fight Taker, or is this just a backup in case Cena's not healthy enough?
Well, see, this is the thing, because the pop that Shane got was just, I don't even think he believed that he was going to get a pop like this, because he looked teary-eyed and everything, and he was just like, yo, I can't believe this is happening. I mean, this pop was massive, after that, obviously, him and his dad had this little thing. Vince dropped the F-bomb, and then we get Vince saying that he has to go through basically taking a Hell in a Cell match to get control of Raw. Now, with that said, I feel like they have kicked someone in the face backstage, because at the end of the day, it's like, we've got all these guys, and because Vince's failure to create new superstars, why these guys can't get over, and these guys can't warrant a spot against Taker. It's like, really, you've got all these guys busting their butt week in, week out, and then now you're just gonna just kind of just like put them out to pasture and let Shane come in. What makes them think that Shane McMahon versus Undertaker is better than Kevin Owens versus Undertaker?
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
I wholeheartedly agree. That's been the problem with WWE, and that's why I'm sure we'll get to it in a bit. That's why this card in general kind of screams a bit of, why haven't you put the work in over the last few years? Because they had no backup plan for the amount of injuries they've got. And yeah, as you say, they've called Shane to have the match with Undertaker because they don't feel anyone is worthy enough to fight Taker at the moment. I mean, from a storyline point of view, Taker's going to fight in Dallas, which is his home state, as a heel, as the person representing Vince McMahon. It's a bit strange, but I'm willing to look over all of that because I'm looking forward to Shane McMahon jumping off of something.
Yeah. But why couldn't they have someone just represent Shane and someone represent Vince? Why couldn't they just do that? Why couldn't they do it the other way? Why couldn't they do Undertaker representing Shane and then have someone else? Look how much people they got. Could you imagine Samoa Joe against Undertaker?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Oh. Yeah, I mean, as you say, Kevin Owens probably deserves that spot. I mean,
definitely.
It's one of them as well. As I say, I genuinely think they're wondering whether Cena's going to be healthy in the next couple of weeks or get cleared to take Shane's place. I genuinely believe that in my heart of hearts. That's the way they're going. But as a backup, they've mentioned Shane's name in case he's not healthy.
Okay, so Cena comes in and just says, returns and just basically says, look, if Raw's been affected or whatever, and if I'm gonna fight for something, I want to fight for the change, and then he comes in. However they do it, like you said, they back themselves into into a corner because their failure to generate. Obviously some of it is on the talent to get over, but they've been booking themselves, like booking guys 50-50, so much, and it just hasn't worked. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens there.
Yeah, definitely.
Then beginning of Raw, we see this footage of Brock Lesnar absolutely fucking up Ambrose. Now I loved this. This reminded me of like Attitude Era. And the thing is, Brock's such a shoot wrestler, so he's in there and he's putting the knees to him. He just looks like an absolute beast, and I thought this was a brilliant way to start off Raw and start off the feud between these two.
Yeah, I mean, let's be honest. Since Royal Rumble, the story between them two has probably been the most interesting on TV at the moment, by a country mile. And as I say, I'm not Ambrose's biggest fan, but he's kept my interest. And all I thought whilst watching that was, this is so similar to Punk Brock in 2013. And by the end of this, I mean, I'll be honest, I think Lesnar wins that match at Mania. But I think by the end of it, Ambrose is going to be so similar to Steve Austin after the Bret Hart. He's going to take a beating and be more over at the end of it.
Well, I've got this written down here. Austin, Bret. That's what I've got down there. Like, that's what I was going to say to you as well. What do you reckon about the stip?
It plays into Ambrose's hands. I mean, this is my thing with Ambrose. I think Ambrose in a normal one-on-one match, quite boring. Put some weapons with him and he can make a better match. And I think at the moment they're backed into a corner, like we've already said, because of injuries and stuff. Give them a match where the fans can do their holy shits, get really happy. Do you know what I mean? Like, sort of get really into it. And obviously as well, it will give Ambrose the opportunity to look like he's winning. I mean, look at them chair shots at Fast Lane on Brock Lesnar. You think in a one-on-one match he gets them, you get the hope spots in that way and stuff. So I think it makes sense to do a street fight between them two. I think it'd be a lot better than a normal one-on-one match because you're not really going to believe Ambrose stands a chance without a bit of backup in the weapons sort of thing.
Okay, so then we had we'll talk about Charlotte, Sasha, and Becky. You know, I think Sasha had a match and Becky come out, make the save. They fend off Team Bad. Charlotte comes out at the end, spitting her gums. I don't like her her cadence at the moment. I don't like the way she comes across. Did I? You're not your dad. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah. I mean, don't get me wrong. I prefer Charlotte as a heel at the moment than I do the babyface Charlotte. But yeah, I mean, she's very much the carbon copy Ric Flair at the moment. But sooner or later, Ric Flair's going to leave her to her own devices, and I think at the moment it's helping her. Because she is the most despised woman in the division at the moment, whether that's because there's no one else really there to be despised. But yeah, I know what you're saying. Like, the way she comes across, it just comes across as Ric Flair light, and it's the same thing I could say about Dolph Ziggler. Yeah. It's people like Ric Flair, Shawn Michaels, Bret Hart, Steve Austin. There can only ever be one of them. Don't sit there as a performer and try and be the next version of them, because you're not going to. It's the same. This is the best way I can put it in an English term. It's the same way no one in football will ever be the next Lionel Messi, or in basketball no one will ever be the next Michael Jordan, because they stand tall on their own. And unfortunately, when you see Ziggler doing sweet chin music, including the kicks and stamps in the corner, it just comes across as a carbon copy rip-off. And makes it worse because it doesn't protect the move. The move with Shawn Michaels, it was Shawn Michaels' finisher, and using it as like some, mid-flow move. But I mean, it looks like we're going for a freeway at WrestleMania, like we talked about before, and it's going to make it very interesting. These women have fought before in NXT, and I hope that they just allow them, and the agent who works with them allows them to go. Well, this I believe you said before, isn't this what Lita's job is? Lita's the agent for the main roster women at the moment. And since you said about that, the women's division has actually got a bit better. And they fucked off all the Divas Revolution tag team stuff. As I said earlier, I think three-way is the right way to go at the moment, because all three of them have earned the right to be at the main event of WrestleMania. Or not the main event, but on the main stage of WrestleMania, should I say. Yeah. And I think it builds enough intrigue where you can have single matches in different ways between all three as well, and it's kind of like a starting point for this year. Plus, you've got to think Bayley's going to come up into it at some point, and I just don't think the main roster is quite ready to have a one-on-one women's match on WrestleMania yet. As harsh as that is to say, because of the way NXT is a complete different baby, and it took a good 18 months for them to start, for us as fans to start sitting there watching women's wrestling and going, oh, do you know what, this is the bollocks. Now, they need the same thing on women's wrestling, and it's still building. I think this triple threat match can go a long way to helping that. Okay. So that leaves AJ and Owens. I mean, those two must be fighting each other, unless my personal thing would be AJ Nakamura round 2 at WrestleMania. They've worked already this year together, put on a crazy ass match, and one of the matches of the year. This match don't need no agent. Just let them go out and just do it again. But obviously, it looks like they're going to be doing AJ Owens. It's definitely a credible WrestleMania match, and it could potentially steal the show. It could. but I don't actually think they're going that way, to be honest with you. Have you seen the SmackDown results? I presume you haven't. Right. No. So, AJ and Chris Jericho beat New Day in a tag match, and Big Show came and challenged Kevin Owens to an IC title match, which he lost by a count out. I really fear they're building towards Big Show, Kevin Owens at Mania. And AJ and Jericho versus New Day for the tag titles. But both, I think, is a waste of the people that you've got there that could fight. As you say, Kevin Owens, AJ is a brilliant story. I personally don't know why they've had Sami Zayn go back to NXT.
I know, that was just silly. Can they should have had that as a WrestleMania match?
They even built the story at the Rumble. You had Sami Zayn throw out Kevin Owens. You just build on that to have Owens versus Sami Zayn for the IC title at Mania. But as I say, I fear that it's now going to be Big Show versus Kevin Owens at WrestleMania for the IC title, which I think is just a waste.
I hope not, because I'm hearing that it's gonna be League of Nations versus New Day for the tag titles at WrestleMania.
Well, I mean that would be a better use, I suppose. To be honest with you, I mean it's weird because the tag division at the moment seemed quite stale. When a few months ago it seemed like it could get stronger. Mm-hmm. I mean the fact they're giving so much TV time at the moment to Goldust and R-Truth possibly becoming a tag team, which will eventually happen. And for any reason too, just go watch Booker T and Goldust, and it's the exact same storyline. It's just not that interesting, is it? So I don't know. As I say, my big fear is Kevin Owens, Big Show at WrestleMania. To be honest with you, and AJ being wasted with Jericho as a tag team. To be honest.
All right, Segheads. What we're about to do right now is introduce the other half of the Spurs Brothers. It is Offshoot Radio's own. That's right. It is James Belmont with his Belmont banter. What's happening?
Oh, son of a bitch. If you can hear those pigeons flutter, it can only mean one thing, that the Belmont banter has arrived on here. Sunday Segue.
The pigeons fluttered, all right. Welcome to the show.
Thank you. Sorry I'm a bit late, there was traffic.
Hey, it doesn't matter. You put the burners on, you're here now. So we are just finishing talking about AJ and Owens and where they're gonna, it looks like they might go somewhere with WrestleMania. But what we're gonna do is touch on the end part of the show, which was the Triple H beatdown on Roman Reigns, which I thought was really, really good, Belmont. I thought they pull it out of the bag, but the only thing is it paints Roman Reigns into a bad corner again, because Triple H was getting pops.
Triple H got the biggest babyface reaction of the year so far. He's the fucking heel. Just completely killed it. Reigns, he's had it.
And they gave him colour. Why? That made things even worse, because then Triple H was like, he's like the king. You busted him open.
You just destroyed the guy. Well, Byron gave him colour, as you might have seen. Yeah. People, just stop ruining things. But yeah, Byron gave him colour. But yeah, it's annoying to watch. The dude's had one match this year and he's champion. He's going to carry it all the way to Mania. Reigns is going to win, then Mania's going to close out with a chorus of boos. Yeah. Back to square one again.
Exactly. They just don't get it. They don't get it. Why are they clutching at straws so much? Why are they trying to save something that can't be saved? Yeah, I don't understand it. Yeah.
Well, there could be one way that you could save it, I suppose. Again, we were talking about Taker and the Shane McMahon thing that could be happening, and whether or not Cena represents Shane or whatever. But say Cena does represent Shane and beats Taker, so Shane has got control of the company, and then you can do the double turn, make Roman Reigns heel at the end of WrestleMania and align himself with Shane, for example, and then you have Triple H goes to be in the role that he is on NXT. I think that's the thing why Triple H ain't getting booed as well. People know what he does in NXT, and people like the guy he is in NXT, and at the end of the day, Roman Reigns is a bit hit and miss, and people don't really want to boo Triple H over Roman Reigns. It's that simple.
What do you guys think about the whole blading? Did he blade, or was it some kind of capture or something? We clearly seen something handed over. What do you reckon, Belmont?
I think we're past the days of blading. I think it was a blood capsule just because of the way it was smothered over the front of his nose as well. Mm-hmm. I think he's just gone bang on his face and it's just run down. I think we're past blading now. I think we're beyond that.
Yeah, I mean, look at Devon's head. God damn.
Damn, son.
Oh man. I want to give a shout out to Lucha Dragons and Neville, because that match they had was crazy. He did a 450 off the apron, and then Kalisto did a 450 off the back of Neville.
Yeah.
What is this?
Skills.
What is going on? It's a 450 party, let alone a super kick party. Jeez. All right, we're gonna go to a break right now, but so you can hear from our sponsors over at VOC Nation, and then we'll be back with the NXT Fallout. Hopefully, you guys watch NXT, so people don't you miss it.
Live from the In the Room studios located in the Net Carrier Enclave, this is the VOC Nation Radio Network.
Hey everyone, it is your favorite knockout, Mickie James, and you're listening to the VOC Nation.
Hey there, hi there, ho there. Thanks for coming on down. It's Save Wrestling, the podcast, and the business-making town. I am your award-winning hostess with the mostest, Shelly Funtime Martinez, and she is my co-host, Dazzling Danielle. Woo! Hello out there. And together we are the Martinez Girls. You finally did it. And you can join us here Monday, 6 p.m. Eastern on the VOC Nation as we save wrestling together, Danielle. Fighting crime. Woo!
And we're back, people. Sunday Segue Wrestling Podcast, episode 153. It's your boy Kinny Killa right here with Belmont Banter himself, James Belmont, and John the Cooper. All right, so we're gonna talk NXT now, people. Spurs Brothers are here, so we got to do it real. We got to do it proper. We started off American Alpha versus Blake and Murphy. Now they filmed this, obviously a lot of this, if not all of it, at the I think it's the CE University or whatever it is. And we had last week, we had Blake and Murphy and American Alpha and Enzo and Cass and Dash and Dawson, and all of them kind of mixed into one. So I could understand why this crowd was a bit like, oh, okay, we kind of just saw you like an hour ago probably. But nevertheless, this match was what it was, Belmont. I think what do you think about the format they're doing at the moment with American Alpha? Because it seems very predictable, you know, Gable getting the beat down and then hot tag to Jason Jordan, and then bam, Jason Jordan, you know, takes off the straps down and just goes crazy.
It's becoming very, what's the phrase, formulatic. Mm-hmm. Just the matches being the same. They need to shake up a bit. They're good enough to do it, but I don't know, it's kind of like been pushed in a corner to do that same kind of match over and over again. I don't understand why, because they're so much better than that.
Yeah, they're a lot better.
I think if they do that, they'll be even more over than when they started. I'm still not keen on the name though, I've got to be honest.
and the 1993 Stanners Brothers get up as well.
I'm not digging that at all.
Cooper, what's your thoughts on not only American Alpha but the NXT tag division at the moment?
It seems like it's kind of just in a flux of waiting around at the moment, doesn't it, more than anything? I mean, one thing I'll say about the hot tags and Jason Jordan always getting it, Daniel Bryan pulled it off with Team Hell No for a long time, and so did Billy Gunn, the No Age Outlaws. It's just, some tag teams it works having that one person take the hot tag. It just makes sense. But it's obvious they're just waiting to announce the match between the American Alphas and Dash and Dawson, which I'm just going to say that's going to be a very, very good match. Yeah. I think. And I think that's the other thing as well with Gable and Jordan at the moment is they're fighting the same teams they've been fighting for the last few months, and nothing really feels new. Blake and Murphy have gone from being the tag champions to not really being relevant. I thought when they dropped the tag titles, it was because they was going to go to the main roster, but obviously
no.
But do you know what I mean? I kind of thought, because at the time they dropped the tag titles was when the Dudleys were feuding with New Day, so there was a part of me that thought they'd go and fight the Dudleys, and the Dudleys would help them get over on the main roster, but wrestling doesn't kind of work in my mindset anymore. But do you know what I mean? Like, I think just the thing is with the NXT tag division at the moment, it's who's really main roster ready, who really stands out. Probably Dash and Dawson and American Alphas. That's the only two teams.
Like Dash and Dawson, I like that. Like no flips, just fists. Like just, you know, they're just proper old school heels. But the match finished anyway, where Jason Jordan got the hot tag. did his normal garb, and then we had the suplex finish and done. Okay, for the 1, 2, 3, they had a little video package of Enzo. Now this was great. Enzo getting taken out by Dash and Dawson, right? Whoever filmed this shit is a G, because the way they did it looks so good. I just thought the way Cass come out and just started and the thing is you can hear all the punches and everything, and the way Cass came out and just laid out Dawson, laid him out on the floor. Oh man, I thought it was great. I thought it was absolutely great. What was your thoughts, Belmont?
I was just thinking about what Cooper was saying about the tag division. I'm just trying to figure it out. as the footage goes, that was really cool. I like it when they can hear the little slap of the punches. Mm-hmm. It does help. Dash and Dawson, I'm just thinking about them two guys. They've got a very old school, Arn Anderson, Ole Anderson kind of thing going on, which is really cool.
I think as well, that's what Triple H has said to him. You could be our brainbusters, sort of thing. That's his theory, and if you look at the way they work very similar to them.
They do. I like it too.
Yeah, it's good. It's good to just have a tag team that just cuts the ring in half, and just the quick tags, but everything they do means something with the quick tags. Not sort of like a quick tag, stomp in the corner, tag the other one in, stomp in the corner. Like everything they do has a purpose, and the way they work as well, they take one member out to basically go on to the other tag member. It's really good. I like the way Dash and Dawson work.
Yeah, I do too. I do. I'm just thinking about Enzo and Cass. There's been a lot of talk about them going on the main roster. I really don't want them to. I just cannot see them doing that well unless they go straight to a feud with the New Day, but then what you can do with them afterwards. See, the tag divisions are really thin on both NXT and Raw, so it's a bit...
Well, it's going to be interesting when Gallows and Anderson comes, and I mean, I've been saying for ages, WWE need to sign the Mighty Don't Kneel from Pro Wrestling Noah, because TMDK, they are nuts, man. And I mean, they've had tryouts before and it's just medical stuff, but they'll be here soon. And once they do come, I think NXT, hopefully they'll have some other tag teams up in there. But let's move on. We had Apollo Crews versus Chris Gerard, which is Biff Busick. So it was nice to see Biff Busick finally, making his debut on TV. I thought he was very, very stiff, Cooper, very, very stiff, and he was almost like Cesaro light.
Yeah, no, I'd agree with that. It's another debut that kind of just goes under the radar sort of thing. I mean, what's happened to Apollo Crews as well? I mean, 4 months ago, there was the thought in my head that Joe was going to beat Balor at TakeOver London and Crews was going to be the next in line. I don't know what the plan is with Crews. I mean, admitted as well, he's still got a way to go mic work and character-wise. He's very much a cookie-cutter babyface, and does that work in this day and age? I don't know.
No.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, babyface for the sake of it.
Yeah, it's not my call to make. I mean, athletically, not many even close to him. The other problem is, I mean, as I said, at TakeOver, the amount of people I heard behind me that was like, oh, he's just like another Bobby Lashley, which I think is a bit of a harsh criticism, but whatever. I just don't know what they're going to do with him, especially with the people that are coming into NXT. Nakamura, Austin Aries, Kenta's got to come back. He could get lost in the shuffle very quickly, is what my theory is that could happen with Apollo Crews.
Yeah, see, that's an interesting point where you bring up with all these indie stars coming into NXT. Aren't they just losing the sight of what NXT was supposed to be in the first place?
Well, this is the thing. I think NXT has now become a cool brand, So you have these independent guys that are willing to come and do quote unquote developmental, if you want to call it that. I wouldn't really call it that anymore, to be honest with you. It's just its own brand. But yeah, I mean, you've now got some of the top indie guys that are all in that division. It's about the same sort of stacked roster of what Ring of Honor is at the moment. If you know what I mean. And as I say, there's still people to come back. Let's be honest, over this year they could hire more people. I mean, Nakamura is a fucking blinding signing.
Oh man!
But what are they going to do with him? Really?
No, it's the same thing as AJ. I don't know what they're going to do with him.
Do you know what I mean? Because obviously, I know who Nakamura's fighting the night before Mania, and I'll be honest with you, I'm buzzing for that match. But Asians in WWE, how well do they really fare?
Well, this is the thing. This is the thing, because we're gonna have to like write that off, because right now they have spent a lot of money on getting this guy over here, and to make him either bloody throw rice or spit green mist, it's like, nah, mate, you can't be doing that. You cannot be doing that with Shinsuke. I'm telling you now, if they ever listen. I listened to the press conference, yeah, and he said that WWE have allowed him to do what he wants to do. So he's gonna have to do. He's allowed to keep his name. He's allowed to do his ring entrance and everything the same he wants to. He's been involved in his music. Like it has to be like that, and I'm glad that they've made it like that. So when we see him come out in NXT, this guy's gonna be a star, and then when he comes up to WWE, they better recognize. And I'm doing the D'Lo Brown head. They just better recognize what time it is. Like, they got a star on their hand, a guy that has so much charisma in it, more charisma in his little finger than any other of the guys up on the main roster. Barring some of the others at the top in the main event. So they better just watch what they're doing, man.
And that's what I mean. Like, that's probably the most fanfare I've seen for a long time of someone from that part of the world coming to WWE with a video package and. People talking about him and stuff like that. And also, what a difference a year makes. If you think a year ago, a bit more than a year ago, Owens debuted with NXT, he had to change his name from Steen to Owens because they wanted copyright. You've now got Austin Aries, Nakamura, AJ Styles all come in with their own names. So it's amazing how much growth there is around that NXT product and how much they're now thinking, do you know what? These guys have got brands out of there. We can't just ignore that they've got history in other places. People know them as who they are. We've just got to leave them as that. Because, I mean, what are you going to get Shinsuke Nakamura to change his name to that's going to stick? Do you know what I mean? Yeah. Same with Austin Aries. Same with AJ Styles. Imagine if AJ Styles came in as, I don't know...
Hairstyles again.
Yeah, do you know what I mean? Or AJ Phenomenal or something like that. It's just not going to work. He will always be AJ Styles. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? I'm the same as you, mate. I'm excited about Nakamura. I'm excited about the match that's going to happen the night before Mania. I just fear what's going to happen once that's over and done with. And the other thing I don't get as well, with the injury card you've got on the main roster at the moment, why not put the NXT title match as the kickoff to WrestleMania this year?
Yeah. Why not? That'd be a great idea.
Give Balor and Samoa Joe the 15-minute opening match at WrestleMania. If it's a poor card afterwards, people are still going to be buzzing off of that match. That's my view. If I was a booker, that's what I'd be looking at. I'd be like, fuck, we've got all these injuries at the moment. I've got an idea. People like NXT, people like Balor, people know who Samoa Joe is. Let's give NXT a bit of spotlight, and we can also start WrestleMania on a positive note, because as I said earlier, the matches that I fear that could happen. Imagine if you start off with Kevin Owens' big show for the IC title at this year's Mania.
Oh, no.
You're already on the back foot, and you can't recover from that, I'm afraid.
There's no recovering at all, mate, from that.
No.
Oh god. No. All right, let's move off this thing. We had Tommaso Ciampa versus Bull Dempsey. I mean, good outing for Ciampa. Obviously, he's not signed a permanent contract, but he's still getting wins, which is good. Bye Bull Dempsey. Sorry about your damn luck, son. It's not really much I can say about that. We had Eva Marie, Nia Jax in the main event, which is laughable.
I never thought I'd hear someone say that Eva Marie's in the main event.
I know, versus Bayley and Carmella. With Carmella Bayley coming out very serious, which is nice. It's nice, they're vexed, they're angry, good. No fucking inflatables. We're vexed. We're gonna beat you up. That's what we want to see,
And there's the fucking difference between who's booking the main and the NXT.
Yeah.
Usos got jumped by the Dudleys a few weeks ago and put through tables. They returned to Raw this week and they still do their full entrance.
We're okay.
do you know what I mean? It's like, we're angry, but we've got time to do our fucking hackathon.
It's like, run out.
You're angry.
Just to the walk ring. Out. Look pissed off. Do what Enzo and Cass did at TakeOver London.
Just all you hear is, I'm on top. Oh my God, they're running after. You know what I mean? Just come out and just don't say nothing and just come out and just take them out. I mean, what can I say? Eva Marie. God damn, man. She's just, I say this every week. The Fool is awful. And Nia Jax as well, man. Girl, you do not want to be partnered up with Eva Marie because you, like, the only reason they're partnering up is so she can get heat. But you're not going to get the right heat because what you're doing is you're coming into the ring and you're doing the Roman Reigns smile. You're a heel. You're a heel. We don't know why you're smiling. Obviously, us smart marks know you're smiling because you're saying, look, I'm smiling because I'm going to bust you up right now. But no one else don't know that. What they thinking is you're coming in the ring, you're a heel and you're smiling. Why are you smiling? You know, why are you smiling? Just don't smile, be vexed, and just take it to someone. You know, leg drop, leg drop, leg drop. Do you reckon Big Yoko was doing 3 leg drops and then smiling after? No. He's looking in the screen. I'm telling you, I'm gonna mess you up. You know.
I mean, let's be honest as well. Like, you know, go back to Takeover London. I know they tape a lot in one hit, but Nia Jax lost to Bayley, which was a really good match. I thought it was a lot better than what I was expecting with Nia Jax. But Nia Jax lost that match. She hasn't once looked pissed off. She hasn't once gone out and like interrupted like a women's match and just put a beating on them. That's the type of character she is. She should be going out there when fucking 2, you know, the lesser divas or the women in NXT are fighting. Just go out there and jump them.
And just say I got something to say. Just say I got something to say.
Yeah, beat them up. Say something. Say, Bayley, I'm coming for that title in the future. I mean,
mic drop.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? That's it. That's all you need. I just think the WWE as a whole doesn't know the difference between heat and go away heat.
Exactly. I mean, and they think the worst thing is WWE think they're funny, but they're not. Like, you're not even funny. Like the segment on Fast Lane with Edge, it's like it's not even funny. It's not even funny. It's not even close to being funny. It's just dumb. It's just dumb. Literally, we're big. Obviously, we're big men watching TV. You know, watching wrestling still. But don't insult our intelligence, man. Your stuff is not funny, so don't even try to be funny. Like, I just don't get why you do that.
Do you know what it's sad? Because I was always a huge fan of Edge and Christian growing up, and even up to Edge's career finished and Christian's career finished, I mean, more or less, I love them as performers. But now when I watch them, it's like watching your dad try to be funny. That's the sort of humour it is. Yeah. And the other thing with that segment, how does that make the pay-per-view? And R-Truth Curtis Axel made a pay-per-view, but Kalisto versus Alberto Del Rio in a 2 out of 3 falls.
There you go.
I don't know.
There you go. Enough said. We'll finish with that. All right, the match finished. Anyway, Eva, Jax, Bayley, Carmella finished. Where we had Nia Jax 3 bloody leg drops, and then Eva Marie gets the proper heel heat, tag herself in 1, 2, 3, done.
Yeah.
Next week, we have Balor versus Neville, which is going to be off the chain. And also, we have the debut of Austin Aries. I cannot wait. For next week. Cannot wait.
Yeah.
Right, what we're going to do, we're going to go to another break. And then we'll be back with Shook Stunners, Segue Time Machine, and what these guys, the Spurs brothers, expect to see on Monday Night Raw tomorrow. Okay, so don't you miss it.
What's up, everybody? This is Johnny Ferrari in Las Vegas, and you're listening to the Swerve Talk Network featuring Max Wrestling, Sunday Seg, Offshoot Radio, and more at the Swerve Talk Network on Twitter for more information.
And we're back, final part of Sunday Segway Wrestling Podcast episode 153. You know who I am by now, man. I don't even need to say nothing. But we're going to be talking about it's Segue, and we're segueing right now into Shook Stunners. So, Jobber of the Week, easy, Bull Dempsey. Just tick that off your list, mate. Right.
Poor Bull,
yeah.
Poor Bull. Do you know why he got screwed up? What? Baron Corbin, and it looks like they've done it to Apollo Crews as well.
Well, it looks like. Oh, I hope that they don't do it to Austin Aries, because that's the next feud.
I don't know. Baron Corbin's like Kevin Nash with half the mobility. I can't stand him.
Oh man, I'm glad we didn't see him on this episode.
God.
Then we got move of the week. Standard, easy again. Triple H beat down on your dome, Roman Reigns. Beat down on the noggin.
I disagree with that.
Throw it in, Coop. What?
I would disagree with that. I would say move of the week was Ambrose challenging Lesnar coming down and giving him an F5 and Heyman dropping a mic on him after saying challenge accepted. Because I'm more buzzing for that match than any match. And as I said earlier, I'm not the biggest Ambrose fan, but that match will be fucking awesome. And
that's my main event. That is my main event this year.
But it's the way it's done. As I say, Ambrose looks like he takes like a couple of lines of Charlie before he comes out, or a couple of disco biscuits, whatever. He comes out sometimes he oversells a bit, but this feud makes sense and it will get Ambrose ridiculously over to the point I will put money on, even if Ambrose loses, he will be in the main event at next year's WrestleMania.
Well, he already was over. He's. Yeah. It's a weird case.
Do you know what though, Belmont? He's over, but this makes him over as a main eventer.
Yeah, I get that because he seemed to like get to that level, well, nearly to that level of being like Austin-esque, but he just kept getting smashed back down.
I think the thing with Ambrose at main event level though, he's just been there as a placeholder in the main event for like just a transitional feud for people.
He's been a glorified pin taker for about a year.
Yeah, well, I mean, you know, he fought Seth Rollins in that rivalry. That literally was a transitional feud for Rollins to keep have a couple of title matches. He only fought Reigns at Survivor Series in the title match because Rollins was injured. That's it. So
it's just a stand-in.
This match genuinely could make him a legitimate main eventer, and that's what they fucking need at the moment.
Yeah, and do you know why it's working, Coop? It's organic. It's been done right.
Yeah. And as I say, people will look at it and think, because people are still nostalgic about the feud between Punk and Lesnar, and it's very much 2016's version of that. But I guarantee Ambrose and Lesnar will be like, no, we want to top that. We want people to talk about this feud individually, not as we're similar to that. Yeah. But it's the same way you can tell the story of Ambrose being a plucky babyface, getting his arse kicked, but taking a beating and coming out the other side looking like his shit don't stink. That's do you know what I mean?
I think. Sorry, carry on.
No, I mean, and all I was going to say is I just wish WWE would look more at their heels at the moment, because that's what the main event's missing. Which is why maybe double turning Reigns to put him heel. You've got more matches for Reigns as a heel champion than you do as a babyface.
Exactly.
Definitely. Do double turn at Mania. Just do it. It's basically the seed's already planted for it. Right. I heard the reaction on Raw, for God's sake.
I'm going to put the F5 on Ambrose in there. There you go. Yeah. Triple H beatdown gets bumped. But Wrestler of the Week, I'll let one of you guys pick that. You guys can collectively come together and pick that. Throw out some names. We had Triple H beatdown. That was sick. We also had, what else did we have? Brock Lesnar looked like a beast.
It's a tough one. I mean, I'd probably go with Lesnar and Ambrose as Wrestler of the Week, but I just think, I know he didn't perform, but fucking Shane O'Mac's return was probably the most talked about moment.
Shane O'Mac then. Shane O'Mac. Has to be Shane O'Mac. There you go. Yeah. Here comes the money, goddammit. Okay, alright. So that's the end for that. We're going to go to Segue Time Machine right now so we can find out what's happening in the world of professional wrestling on this date. It is the 28th of February, which is my son's birthday. Happy birthday, Zaire, 4 years old. That's right. So my firstborn, my first son. There you go.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday. And fourth number of excellence as well.
There you go. Thanks for throwing that in there. So, Segue Time Machine. What happened on this date? We had Kenny King winning the X Division title. We also had Eric Young and ODB winning the Knockouts title.
Oh, my days. No. Bad days at TNA. Red flags are waving already.
We had 3 Count collectively holding the WCW Hardcore title. Oh man, so let's see what happened on the Monday Night Wars. We're in 2000. It is Raw episode 353. Right, and on this, I don't believe I have the rating, which is weird. Oh, that's a shame. They didn't leave a rating on here. Either way, it was gonna be bigger than. It's gonna be bigger than Nitro's. The main event was The Rock defeating Big Show and Triple H by DQ in a 2-on-1 handicap match. The Rock also defeated Brooklyn Brawler earlier on with 30 seconds. It's just a weird one. But Nitro did a 2.6 rating, which is horrible. And
that was a good week at that point.
Exactly. And on this card we had the Mamalukes, Big Vito and Johnny the Bull defeating Idol and Lane. Don't know who the hell that is. We had Billy Kidman and Booker go to no contest. We had a 3-on-1 hardcore handicap match. This is where 3 Count won the title. Dustin Rhodes defeating Norman Smiley. We had Jeff Jarrett defeating Vampiro for the United States title. The Artist, formerly known as Prince Iakea, defeating David Flair.
Prince Iakea.
Yeah.
Hell, have a word with yourself.
The Maestro defeating Ernest the Cat Miller. Ric Flair defeating Kurt Hennig. Buff Bagwell defeating Lex Luger by DQ. And then we had Sid Vicious defeating Tank Abbott for the in a world heavyweight title match.
Oh my god, that is fucking rotten.
Oh my god, exactly.
That is no.
Exactly my thoughts. Right, I want to say a massive happy birthday to one Ricky the Dragon Steamboat. Also want to say happy birthday to Norman the Wiggle Wiggle Smiley. Masato Tanaka, happy birthday. Lance Archer, Vance Archer, whatever you want to call him, part of the Killer Elite Squad, Pro Wrestling Noah Tag Team Champions with Harry Smith, I should say. Happy birthday. Who else we got? Anyone else? Nah, no one else really. There you go. Happy birthday. Oh, happy birthday to Michael Bisping. I don't know what the fight was like last night, whether he won or not against Anderson. He won. Well, happy birthday, son. Happy birthday. Happy birthday. All right. So, nice. Guys, to end off the show, we're going to talk about what you expect to see on Raw tomorrow. Now we have Taker, who has to have a rebuttal of somewhat Belmont. So, what do you expect to see from him tomorrow on Raw?
I don't know, and this is a good thing because I just cannot make it out. When this match was announced, I thought, what have they been smoking? But I actually like the unpredictability of it because I'm going to say it now. This match isn't going to happen.
Yeah.
It ain't happening.
Okay.
At Mania, it's not going to happen. Undertaker's going to get jumped or something. Something is going to go down. It's not going to be as clear cut as it seems. Undertaker's going to most likely appear, address it. He probably might even refuse it first. And then they try and force him to do it. They try and force him into the match anyway. But we'll see. That's like the only interesting thing I can think of, unless there's going to be another Lesnar Ambrose segment. I don't know what else they could really do on Raw.
Yeah, what else could they really do?
My personal view is you'll have a Taker and Vince segment where Taker will sort of say that he's not fighting for Vince or anything like that.
Yeah,
maybe.
Like what I said, refuse at first, and Vince pulls something.
And how maybe even he doesn't need to fight for Vince, maybe, and that's possibly when if Cena's healthy, because in the back of my mind, Cena's going to fight at Mania. He's putting videos up of himself squatting 500 pounds. The man had shoulder surgery a few months ago, you know what I mean? So he's going to be at Mania, and I think that's the match they go for, which will be a better match anyway. The other thing I'm imagining, because I don't think Lesnar's at Raw, is there's going to be some unreal promo exchange between Heyman and Ambrose.
Mm-hmm. Yes, please.
Yeah.
And I also imagine Charlotte is going to interfere in the Becky versus Sasha match, which is how that ends up being a triple threat. That's the 3 things I can gather will happen on Raw.
Okay. All right. Well, I like that. I like that a lot. I like it a lot. All right. So what about Roman Reigns? What do you expect, Cooper, to see from Roman Reigns tomorrow? His ass got bust. So what do we expect to see from him? He has a rebuttal to do.
Probably. You put everything against me. You can keep putting beatings on me, but at WrestleMania, I'm going to beat you. Believe that. And
that's the whole fucking. That's the whole segment.
I'm paraphrasing that, but it really wouldn't surprise me if that's actually what happened. Let's be honest.
This guy.
They've got such a job to do over the next few weeks to make people excited to see Reigns get the title at the end of Mania. Oh. I don't even think they can achieve it. But, last year I wasn't really looking forward to Lesnar versus Reigns, despite the fact that I called it back in the November beforehand. But they actually delivered on the grand stage. I think the other thing as well, from Triple H's point of view, which is why he needs to have a good match against Reigns, he's had 2 main events, last matches of Mania, which flopped big time. Mm-hmm. Randy Orton and Jericho.
Yep.
He's not going to want a third on that list. Oh, no. I know on both of them nights you obviously had Rock versus Hogan, which stole the show, and you had Michaels versus Taker, which I don't think anyone in the world could have followed that night, to be honest with you. I made it successful, but he's got a fucking job on his hands as it is to try and get Reigns cheered, unless you go with a double turn.
Okay, all right. Well, that's the end of the show, people. I'd like to thank my guests, obviously, Belmont, James Belmont. Can you let the people know where they can find you on the Twitter?
Yeah, they find that evil Twitter machine at JX2001. You can find Offshoot Radio at Offshoot Radio.
And also, John Cooper, can you let the people know where they can find you on the Twitter?
Yeah, you can find me at Duke Cooper 85, or you can find the podcast at KOTR Podcast. Lads, this has just popped into my head whilst you were talking about ratings from WCW and WWE. It's coming up to the 15-year anniversary of WCW going out of business and Vince buying it. Do you fancy doing some sort of review show on the last Raw and Nitros?
Oh yes, please.
Yeah. What for?
Yes.
For King of the Ring podcast?
Yeah,
that'd be amazing.
Yeah, definitely.
So I can throw something out there. Maybe we'll do the last Raw and Nitro, and maybe even do the Invasion pay-per-view as well. It's just as something like we'll do it two separate podcasts, but just something to throw out there as well.
Yeah, man. I'm on that.
That'd be awesome.
I'm on that, definitely.
Yeah. Cool. Well, what I'll do, I'll message you afterwards then, and we'll sort out like the best time to do it or whatever. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sweet.
I like that.
There you go, people. That's my next podcast.
Well, make sure, Segheads, you jump onto the other side, because it is going to be Sunday Segway TV episode 5 with your boy Kinny Killa, the Nature Boy Fame Black, and Tom Brady. So make sure you check that out. We're going to be talking about New Japan and ROH Honor Rising Day 1. Also, you know how we do, just throwing a little sprinkle of little antics here, there, and everywhere. So make sure you check that out. OneWrestling.com. Also on YouTube, you can access it from Sunday Segway. That's at Sunday Segway. You can follow me on Twitter. That's at Kinny Killa. Next week, we're going to be joined by the host of the Yes Talk podcast. It is Dustin Kaufman. And if you don't like that, you can choke on that slap nuts. Woo!